delegation. Hebrew kingdom building.
Chapter 18, verse 1. And Jethro, man, Jethro. Bubba and Jethro. Where'd that come from? That was something back in the day. Where that was from? Oh. And Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's father-in-law, heard of all that Eluah had done for Moshe and for Israel, his people, that Yahuwah had brought Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. So remember that Jethro is where Moshe went after he fled Egypt. That was far away from Egypt. He had to go where Pharaoh wouldn't touch him at. So y'all gotta think about, like, out here in America, if somebody had, like, let's say if you were America's most wanted, because I was Moshe at the time, he was like Egypt's most wanted. That's like when you had a Pharaoh after you, that's like you most wanted. That happened in America. Y'all know about that, what's her name, Assata Shakur? Yeah. Assata Shakur. She killed a police officer. It was self-defense, but it was a shootout with the police. She was a Black Panther or something like that. And she ended up killing a police officer. She actually got locked up for it, and she actually broke out of jail. She broke out and fled. But the only way that she was able to get out of Egypt, grasp America, you got to go to a place that is not just out of the country. You got to go to a place that America can't touch, because she was like America's most wanted. She had the president. She literally had Pharaoh after her over there. Even to this day, they were trying to get her. They're trying to get her still to this day. But she went to Cuba, and Cuba was a place that America can't touch. She was preserved, for real. That's crazy. She was preserved. So that's basically what happened with Musha, though. That's basically what happened. It's the same thing. Musha, he killed a slave driver. That was the police. He killed one of the slave drivers. And he couldn't just go anywhere because Pharaoh had Egypt had a very far reach at the time. Like, all the Philistine country, I believe Egypt had that area covered. It was a lot of, Egypt was more than just Egypt as far as their grasp. And so he went just to the wilderness. He had to go in the middle of nowhere. And Yahuwah covered him. Yahuwah covered him through his righteousness. Remember what he did? He whooped some people. He whooped some people for the shepherdess. They were trying to draw water. And Jethro was like, man, y'all let him go. He did what? Y'all let him go? Because he had also drew water for them, remember? Just like Yaakov. He was just like Yaakov. So what happened? Moshe fled Babylon, Egypt, and then Yahuwah blessed him with 100-fold family. That's what happened. Ain't that what happened? That's his. Where's his dad? Who's his dad? See what I'm saying? It's Jethro. Who else? Yahuwah replaced his family. He replaced his family. His father. He gave him 100-fold family. That's what happened to y'all. Y'all escaped Babylon, so now y'all don't really, because your family's still in, your parents were still in Babylon, so it's just, you don't have that relationship no more. He replaced them for you. Who will replace them for you? Same thing happened to Musha. All right, let's keep going. Y'all will see why I'm bringing all that up. All right, verse 2. Then Jethro, Moshe's. Okay, look at verse 1. It says, and Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moshe's. What's going on here? Why they keep saying that? There's some, I think when the Torah does stuff like that, it's something to that. So took Zipporah, Moshe's wife, and after he had sent her back with her 2 sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. And the name of the other was Eleazar, for he said, the allure of my father was my help, and delivered me from who? He got his deliverance by joining the house of Jethro. And he was out there in the wilderness, so Moshe knows this. Remember the burning bush and all that was on Sinai. Y'all remember that? The burning bush was on Sinai. Remember Yahuwah said you would come back here? This is how you know. Y'all remember that? That was about 3 people. Let's just go there real quick. What was that, Exodus like 3 or something like that? Yeah, let's go to Exodus chapter 3, y'all. Y'all gotta understand this. Exodus 3, verse 1. Let me know when y'all there. Then Moshe was tending the flock of Jethro, who? I mean, why we know that. Why the Torah keep saying that every time they name him? Have y'all ever seen that with anybody else in the scriptures? Not that I can think of. The priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Oreb, the mountain of Allur. You see where Moshe came? This is when he was living in the wilderness with Jethro and them. So Oreb, that's Sinai. That's actually the region where he was living that whole 40 years with Jethro and his family. Y'all see that? Y'all getting it? All right, verse 2. And the Malach of Yahuwah appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. Then Moshe said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, while the bush does not burn. So when Yahuwah saw that, he turned aside to look. Yahuwah called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moshe, Moshe. And he said, here I am. Then he said, do not draw near this place. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is Kodesh ground. Moreover, he said, I am the allure of your father, the allure of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the allure. And Yahuwah said, I have surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Mitzrayim, and I've heard their cry because of the taskmasters, so I know their sorrows. So I've come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Mitzrites, and to bring them up from their land to a Thub, enlarged land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel. What? I remember the song earlier. The cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Mitzrites oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, children of Israel, out of Mitzrayim. But Moshe said to Allur, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, that I should bring the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim? So he said, I will certainly be with you. Now listen what he said the sign will be, and this shall be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will serve Allur where? On the same mountain where he lived 40 years out there. The wilderness, he knew what better person to choose to lead the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim into the wilderness than Moshe, who knows Egypt and the wilderness like the back of his mind. See what I'm saying? All right, let's go back to chapter 18. So the Most High said that after you bring them out, you're going to come back here. So now Yahuwah led Moshe to bring them out. After being out of Mitzrayim for 3 months, now they're there. They're back at the mountain. That makes sense? All right, y'all. All right, let's get rolling. So now, when Moshe went to get the children out of Israel out of Egypt, he left his family with Jethro and them. You see what I'm saying? He left his family with Jethro and them. Now, Moshe led them out, so now it's time for a family reunion. We didn't think about that. I didn't think he probably missed his family. My children, you know, my wife. They wasn't there with him. He left them back where it's safe. He ain't know, man. He like, man, these Israelites wild. I just want y'all to stay here until I come back. They probably were crying. But you know, Pharaoh, you know, it's dangerous out there. Don't worry. Yahuwah had already said, I'm a tool. I'll be back. Don't worry. You probably saw his sons crying. Dad, don't go. I'll be back. So this was a big deal. Now he got out, and now it's time to reunite with your family. And I submit, Jethro was a full-blown father to him. It wasn't, you know, I keep saying father-in-law and stuff like that, but it's not like what we think father-in-law. No. That was his dad. Jethro took him in his house and even gave him his daughter's hand in marriage and took care of him. And also, I submit that 40 years living under a priest, and I do submit that he was a priest of Yahuwah. I do submit that he was a priest of Yahuwah. The Midianites were children of Abraham. The Midianites as a nation did not serve Yahuwah. However, there's always individuals, especially, but this is before Israel was a nation. This is pre-Israel. It's just like Job. Get what I'm saying? Job was like pre-Israel, to my understanding. And he was from Esau, but these were children of Abraham. So you had individuals who served Yahuwah out of his seed. You get what I'm saying? But now, see, Yahuwah's doing a new thing. Now he's establishing a whole nation to serve Yahuwah. That's what he's working through Moshe and Israel, et cetera, et cetera. That was the distinction with Israel, was a whole nation that served Yahuwah. But before Israel was a nation, there were always individuals, always, since the days of Noah, that served Yahuwah. So that's what I submit Jethro was. That's why Yahuwah put them together, brought them together. Now you have Moshe growing up. Well, not even growing up. He was grown by the time he got to Jethro. He was about 40, but he basically lived he lived 40 years under Jethro to teach him the ways of the Most High. Where else would Moshe know the ways of the Most High? In Egypt under Pharaoh? Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's me. Where else would he know the ways of the Most High from? Y'all thought Moshe learned the ways of Yahuwah living in Egypt? He learned it under Jethro. He learned under Jethro, and once it was time, once he learned enough, once he learned how to shepherd a flock, how to do the things he needed to do, then Yahuwah appeared to him. It was time to ascend now. Jethro probably was able to tell him about his forefathers. Probably was able to tell him about Abraham, Isaac, Yaakov, all that stuff, man. He's probably able to tell him all that stuff. And so that's when I submit, when Yahuwah appeared to Moshe, though, that's when Moshe really got to know Yahuwah, though. All right. So basically, you had let's go to verse 7. Y'all ready? So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. He bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other about their well-being, and they went into the tent. This was a huge family reunion. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that Yahuwah had done to Pharaoh and to the Mitzrites for Israel's sake, all the hardship that had come upon them on the way, and how Yahuwah had delivered them. And then Jethro rejoiced for all the food which Yahuwah had done for Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of Mitzrayim. And Jethro said, blessed be who? Yahuwah. See? Blessed be Yahuwah, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of Pharaoh, and who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mitzrites. Now I know that Yahuwah is greater than all the Elohim, for in the very thing in which they behaved proudly, he was above them. So now he knows. He's like, man, Yahuwah is the Most High. Oh, snap. Yahuwah is the Most High. Then Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law, took a burnt offering and other sacrifices to offer to Alua. So if he was a priest of Baal, how would he be able to offer up a burnt offering to Yahuwah and Yahuwah accepts it? If he was a priest to one of the because that's what the Midianites were, once Midianites were like a nation. I don't know if they were a nation or not back during this time. It might still have just been individuals from the bloodline of the seed of Abraham. Because Midian was from Keturah, his wife Keturah. But once they became a nation, they were worshiping Baal. If he was a priest of Baal and all that type of stuff, man, how would he be able to offer up a whole burnt offering to Yahuwah and Yahuwah accepts it? I don't see how that's possible. I don't see that. So I think looking at this is showing, because Moshe wasn't doing no burnt offerings. He didn't know how to do that stuff like that yet. He probably was exposed to it for being around Jethro. So when Yahuwah actually started showing him about those things, it wasn't like new to him. You see what I'm saying? Like when he was living around Jethro was probably doing offerings and stuff like that. So that's probably when Yahuwah started teaching him Torah and teaching him how to do these things. Okay, this is the words that I want you to give to the priest. You know, they are to do this, they are to do that, and make sure there's salt on the offering, this and that. You know, all them details that probably wasn't foreign to Moshe because he grew up around Jethro for so long. Just showing you how the Most High trained you up through your experiences to get you ready for whatever he has for you to do. It's crazy, man. I remember, it's crazy. It reminds me of the dialogue we had in the Akim chat. Shimshon had the dream or a vision. That's what it was, a vision. And it was an opportunity he was looking at. And Most High was showing me, man, you're going to use that experience to actually train you up for the purpose he has for you. That's basically Jethro and Moshe. And so, verse 12. So Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law, they said it again, took a burnt offering and other sacrifices to offer to Alua. And Aharon came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moshe's father-in-law before Alua. And so it was. So they had a great grand time. They offered up an offering. They eating and drinking. It's a family reunion, man. And even Aharon came with the elders, man. They ate with Jethro, man. He's showing them his family. He like, yeah, Jethro, this is my brother right here, man. You know, oh, bro, okay, yeah, it's my brother. And then Aaron being able to see his nephew. This little Gershom right here, man. Little Gershom and them. Gershom and Eliezer. It's a full-blown family reunion. He probably never seen his sons like that. Verse 13, and so it was. So now it's the next day, though. So now Jethro he's here. He's hanging out with Moshe. He's used to Moshe just being like simple, living a simple life. That's how he knows Moshe, just chilling and herding flocks and, you know, in the wilderness, man, maybe eating, hanging out with his wife and family. So now he's with Moshe, and Moshe is the leader of this whole nation of people now. You gotta imagine how Jethro was like, man, it's a lot of, man, it's all, like 3 million people. Like, man, for real. So on the next day, Moshe was probably like, yeah, so Jethro, what you about to do? I got some stuff to do. Look, man, help yourself, man. You know, if you need anything, we'll get one of the Akim come through. You know, just help yourself. I got some stuff to do. And so he went out there, and it said that he was judging. That was probably his day by normal work, judging the people from Boker to Arev. From Boker to Arev, he was judging the people. So you can imagine being in the wilderness with 3 million people. It was all kind of stuff coming up. All kind of stuff. Hey, Moshe, I had 4 pairs of shoes in my tent, fell asleep, woke up, and now it's only 1 pair of shoes. They ain't just disappeared like that. I know it was him. I know it, because you be always over here looking at me crazy. And I ain't never did what. And Moshe just sitting there, every little thing. Can you imagine that? Because Musha, they knew he'll inquire of Yahuwah. He'll go to Yahuwah, you know what I'm saying? And so they were probably coming up to him about every little thing, everything. So it caused him to be from Boca to Arel, and because he was servant-minded, he was just doing it. I realized that about Chief, man, the Chiefs. I didn't realize that till they came down here. I didn't realize that to the fullness until when they came down here in June. Anything that we asked them to do, they was trying to do it. And so I learned, I was like, okay, you know what, I can't do that. I actually have to be protective of them because they'll stretch themselves to serve. Like, you with the chief, you literally got to be like, okay, what we'll do is we'll do it like this so y'all can get home at a timely manner so y'all have some time to be, you know, to go to decompress and rest and stuff like that. Because if you just be like, okay, yeah, can we come and meet with the mishpachah over here? Can we come? Okay, then after that we can do this, and after that we can go to the land. They just gonna be like, all right, yeah. They like that, and anything to serve, like they will stretch themselves. So now they have more people in place to help to keep that from happening. You know? But y'all notice they always try to do whatever. Whenever it's people trying to shut that down, there's other people. You notice it don't be them. It'd be like people in the tribe say, hey, y'all, hold on. You know, and nobody else come to the chiefs, you know, right now they really need to go lay it down. They really have a long day tomorrow. They got to get up early tomorrow, you know. It'll always be up somebody else because they just can't. They have a hard time doing that. They really servant-minded. And they will stretch themselves thin. I remember one time, man, like Chief was falling asleep. Chief Musha. Falling asleep trying to just be there with the mishpachah, because he know the mishpachah want to be around him and stuff like that. I think it was like, okay, maybe it wasn't that Sukkot. That was when we was in Dallas. Yeah, it was one. Yeah, he was stretching himself just for the mishpachah. And no, he should have been laying down. So that's basically, that's funny. That's Chief Musha. I think Chief Musha got like a Ruach Musha on him, man, or something like that. Cause this is Musha. This is Musha. Musha wasn't like, man, look here, man, I don't got time for that, man. Look, there's a lot I got bigger fish to fry, man. Look, no, he was judging every little thing. It took somebody else to come in and be like, hey, man, stop. No, you can't, man, you'll burn yourself out doing this. You know, let's go ahead and do this, set up other people to help you with this. And that's how that happened. All right. I want to get into this father-in-law thing. So just in chapter 18, every time they kept saying Jethro, Moshe's father-in-law. They said I don't know how many times in the scripture. So the word for father-in-law is katan. The word for father-in-law is katan. It actually means father-in-law or marriages. Stuff like that. Wedding. Katan. That's H2859 and H2860. It means father-in-law, wedding, marriage. It don't really mean father-in-law at all, actually, but it's just translated that way to be more technical. It actually means law, actually, to be more technical. They inserted that in the English. They said father-in-law, but in the Hebrew, it does not say father at all. It don't say that. It just says law. Yeah. But There's probably not a term for like father-in-law in Hebrew. Probably not. They probably just don't say that. Katan means father-in-law, wedding, and marriage. This is a very, very, very significant word. That's why the Torah, I submit, that's why the Torah kept repeating it. Jethro, katan, Jethro, Moshe's katan, Jethro, Moshe's katan, Jethro, Moshe's katan. And then they went over here, then they went over there. Then he met up with Jethro, Moshe's katan, kept saying that. That's because this is a very significant word. This is a very significant word, man. So it means, again, law, wedding, marriage. But what it really means is it's instilling fear and dread into the nations. And I'm going to break it down. I'll break it down. So katan is het, tav, noon. Het, tav, noon. So what I got out of that was it's a way to make a covenant with the seed. It's a way to make a covenant with the seed within the gates. Katan. It's a way to make a covenant with the seed within the gates. So that makes sense because you had Jethro. He sees the seed. And what's the way to make a covenant with the seed within the gates? Hey, marry my daughter. Right? That's how that works. Remember in Bereshit, when they were in Shechem, and they wanted to join with the seed. They wanted to make a covenant with the seed within the gates. What did they do? They tried to marry their son to their daughter, to Yaakov's daughter. They say, yeah, we can be each other. We can be one people. We can connect. The way to do that is by marrying daughter to the son or son to the daughter in a sense. But it's really, especially marrying a daughter to the son, especially because because the man, he leaves his house to cleave to the wife. That's really how that works. So really, the man who gives his daughter to that son, it's like that son is coming into his house. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really the other way around. It's not really like that, to the same extent at least. King Saul. Do y'all remember the story of King Saul when with King David? But David wasn't a king yet. David was little David, right? Little David who just killed Goliath. And King Saul was like, man, anybody who kills and brings back all these foreskins or something like that, I will marry my daughter to them. Why do you think, so y'all heard about King Solomon, David's son, right? Solomon had what, 7,000 wives or something? Something like that. It was a lot of wives. That's the point. We don't got to be specific right now. It was thousands of wives, let's put it that way. A lot of people assumed that Solomon was marrying all them wives because he was giving over to like perversion and things like that. And that's not it at all. That's a way to make peace with the other nations, is by marrying daughters of kings and stuff like that. That's why when you read about Solomon, the wife, he wasn't just marrying anybody. No, these were like the daughters of Pharaoh, daughter of Pharaoh he went and married, or, you know, different things like that. That's how you join nations together, is by marrying their daughters and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So Solomon, basically what he was doing, he wasn't trusted in Yahuwah. Well, Yahuwah already said, when you know the ways of the Most High, he'll make even your enemies to be at peace with you. He didn't trust Yahuwah. He went and did the worldly way to make peace with all the nations around him, by marrying their daughters and all this stuff like that. Yeah, they intertwine because now they become one family. Yeah. The northern and southern kingdom was doing that. If y'all read the first and second Kings, we went through all those in the midrash. For anybody who's been on the midrash for a while, first and second Kings. The northern and southern kingdom, they would like marry their sons and daughters to each other. to try to join the families together. All right. So why am I bringing all that up? Because that encompasses, it's a way to make a covenant with a seed within the gates, all right? But now I want y'all to look at the breakdown of the words that are in katan. Now that's where it really gets interesting. Because what are y'all seeing? At noon, right? What does hen mean? What's another word that it means? Oh, y'all with it. Y'all with it. So doesn't katan mean marriage, wedding? He who finds a wife finds a true thing and obtains from Yahuwah. Y'all see that? That's why it's all in the breakdown. Now, I know the word for favor there is not hen. It's a different word, but it still means the same thing. I think it's rasak, but it means the same thing. It's the same thing. That's why when you see when the letters are similar, they're related. This is showing you that there's something surrounding marriage and wedding that's related to favor. That's related to grace. I'm trying to drill this stuff. These because in your own studies you'll start seeing stuff like that. You'll be hitting me up. Man, Moray, look, I just saw we done this Torah portion, but look what I see right here. I'll be like, oh, I didn't see that. I'm gonna bring that out. I'm gonna have you come up, bring that out. But look at this. Chanit. The only difference is the yod. It's the same letters. That's the word for spear. Really, that also means arrowhead. Arrowhead. What's that verse where it talks about the sons are like in the quiver? Let's go there real quick. What's the verse? What'd you say? What's the verse? Let's go there. Why am I? Oh. I went on the wrong. Psalm 127, verse 4. Psalm 127, verse 4. Like arrows in the hand of a what? A warrior. So are the sons or the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their enemies in the gate. So, the way to have sons, according to the scriptures, is through what? Let me see if y'all can follow this. Oh, snap, I messed up. The way to have sons is through wedding, marriage. The same letters for, except the yod, for wedding, marriage, it means spear or arrowhead. So if it's an arrowhead, all you do with an arrowhead is you attach the spine to it. The spine, you attach the branch to it, the stick. And now you have an arrow, you have sons. So this is letting you know that there's a relationship between marriage and a spirit. That's why that's in Psalms. That your sons are like arrows. So that word, again, if you go to H2595, it also means arrowhead. I should have wrote that in there too. So it's showing that there's a relationship between marriage and an arrowhead. You'll be like, how? Psalms is right there in the scriptures that sons are like arrows in the quiver. You know what I'm saying? So what is this saying? This is also letting you know that weddings, that marriage is a weapon. Ooh. Now y'all see why Babylon went through, invested so much money, went through such great lengths to break up the households. It's all in the Hebrew. Because they knew that marriages, weddings, is a weapon against them. It is a man had a dream. I told y'all about it. It was about me. It was about a lot of stuff, but part of the dream, all her dreams be about a whole lot of stuff. But part of the dream, I was walking around, I think it was a Malak, and I had like a quiver full of with stones in them. And I thought was that about lots or something like that? I started praying on it, and the Most High was showing me, notice it's about my sons. It was about my sons. I was like, oh, interesting. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, Eben. Oh, okay. Father, son. Oh, that makes sense. Arrowheads are made out of stone. Bullets are made out of stone. Bullets is just, it's shooting. It's an arrow too, in a sense. The arrowheads are made out of stone. Look it up. They don't make no arrowheads out of wood. They carve them things out of stone. Father, son. And now the jungle, those are our sons. The jungle and armor bearers. Moving and functioning. Moving and functioning like ever before now. They having visions of knocking down Malakim, knocking down Babylon, knocking down enemies. Yeah, man. What do y'all think that, man? See, the other nations knew this a long time ago. Y'all got to understand. Why do y'all think part of the covenant was to return the hearts of the fathers back to the sons and the sons back to the father, and to restore marriages? We think that's so we can have happy marriages and be happy? No, that's how you destroy Babylon. Katan, wedding, marriage. Go to Exodus chapter 1. Let me know when y'all get there. Exodus chapter 1. All right, let's get it. So it goes into the name, so let me skip down to verse 8. Y'all there, verse 8? Now there arose a new king over Mitzrayim who did not know Yosef. And he said to his people, look, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they do what? That's it. That's it. How do you multiply? It's through this. Word in marriage. What happened? What did they say? Kill all the sons, right? Why? The sons are arrows in the quiver. And they don't want that. They were worried, so they kill all the sons. Throw them in the river. And you know what happened? Just one slipped through. Moshe, it ended up coming back and destroying Mitzrayim, man. That joke, wow, y'all. One slipped through and he grew up and came back and destroyed Mitzrayim, fam. They thought they could divert Yahuwah's plan. All it takes is one to slip through. That's all it needs. Oh, Yahuwah, man. All right. This word is just it's all kind of stuff in this word, man. But we're just gonna get to a couple of things. Also in Hatan, you see Het. That's a Het Tav. Y'all remember the sons of Het? The sons of Het? Terror. Fear also means shattered, break. That's Het. You also have, oh, you still need that? No, it's no worries. You got it, Ema. No worries. I should have just been like, oh well, too late, huh? Not playing. I probably would have did that if that was Shemariah or somebody. I couldn't do evil like that. No, no problem, no problem. All right. And you have Tan. Tan. Y'all heard about Tanin, right? The dragons. In Genesis 1, they translated it as whales, and that's like just like a huge misinterpretation, or I should say mistranslation. No. Tan is in Genesis 1, they translate it as whales. No, man, it's the sea serpent, the dragon. Tan. It's like Hasatan. Don't they call Hasatan the dragon? Yeah. Now, when you look at, the spelling of Hasatan, it's a tet noon, but still, nevertheless, it's the same thing. It's the dragon, the serpent. The sea serpent, the dragon. The sea serpent, the dragon, but also it's the people of the dragon. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's the people of the dragon. It's just like the Chinese call themselves the people of the dragon, don't they? They're like, man, this is the year of the dragon. They worship the dragon. They worship Hasatan. They worship Tan. A lot of them do. I can't say 100%. But Babylon does too. Babylon is in covenant with the marine kingdom. Tan. So you have Het, to break, shattered, and you have Tan, the dragon. Y'all following this? To break, to shatter, the dragon. That's what marriage does. That's what a Kodesh marriage does. That's all in that word, fam. That's all in this word, y'all. Het, Tan. To shatter, to break, to destroy the dragon. Or instilling dread into the nations. Instilling fear and dread into the nations. Because Het also means fear and dread, right? Instilling fear and dread into the nations. That is what marriage does. Remember, that's why Pharaoh was afraid and in terror. He said, we have to do something lest they come back on us, join our enemies. They're multiplying. They're more and mightier than we. It instills fear and dread in the nations. That's what marriage does, the Kodashim. Marriages bring dread and fear to the dragon. That's why you see that. That's why Babylon went through great lengths to break up the marriages, and they were successful for so many years. We had the highest divorce rate in the nation. The Hebrews in America, divorce rate was about 60, almost 70% divorce rate. You had whole communities that were just single family homes, single mother homes, whole neighborhoods, single moms. That changed significantly I would say it started in the 70s, but it's changed significantly when crack hit the neighborhoods. And that's my generation. We've seen it. I'm an 80s baby. I watched it. We had friends and their dads was crackheads, and we watched what happened. Yeah, that's when welfare got strong. Strong. And people were living in government housing where you couldn't have no father there. So, man, government paid for everything, your bills paid, everything, and food. You just don't have no father in the house. That's how you get whole communities with just single mothers there. And wondering why we were so jacked up, why the murder rates were so high in those areas and stuff like that. Them places be war zones. Now you got, like on the West Coast, which it moved down here when I was growing up, but you had the gangs and stuff, Bloods and Crips. You think a house with a father in there, their son gonna be in a gang? That would not fly. No, that's people without no fathers. Ain't no father gonna. Matter of fact, what neighborhood that's full of fathers is gonna even let gangs run up and down the neighborhood? No, that would not happen. It just wouldn't. Let somebody try to do something like that in Toyland. Hey, Shalom, everything told? What you need here? Everything good? Yeah, you take that on down over there across the street. You take that down over there across the street. For real. Those are neighborhoods where the fathers were taken out of the homes. It got so bad to where a lot of us didn't even really think it was important to have a father. Fathers, their value, their value got devalued real big, boy. Especially once the government started taking care of it, and you had all these single moms, and they boasting about, oh yeah, I took care of my children all by myself. Boy, the fathers, boy, started getting devalued, boy. It started, man, and then we had a culture. This was my generation. The culture turned into where it just wasn't a big deal. It's cool if the father there, but if not, it's just, whatever. Whatever. That's why this covenant is so important. That's why marriage is so important to Yahuwah. It's a weapon against the enemy. It's a weapon against the enemies. That's why this hundredfold family is so important. Because a lot of y'all grew up in this generation too, and y'all grew up in broken houses. Grew up without your parents. Grew up in one of those single. Y'all are part of that. Y'all grew up in some of them single house neighborhoods and single houses with only the mom there. But y'all through, because what did Yahuwah do? Give y'all a hundredfold family though. So, yeah, let me go here. Make sure I didn't miss nothing. Look at this right here. It's gonna make sure this will make the things this turns. So remember, katan is about instilling fear and dread into the nations, or it's about crushing or destroying the dragon, or instilling fear. Instilling fear and dread in the dragon. Instilling fear and dread in the dragon, and also in the nations. That means it's hand in hand. You get what I'm saying? Because the dragon has a people. It's just like Yahusha has a people. Hasatan has a people. You know what I'm saying? So this is in the beginning, right? This is Genesis 3. Remember, this is the curse that Yahuwah put on the serpent for deceiving Eve. The serpent, right? The dragon. This is Hasatan. Look what Yahuwah told him. I will put enmity between you and the Isha. So I'm pretty sure that don't say. I'm pretty sure that says wife, the Isha. That's what it says. Pretty sure that's what it says in Hebrew. Y'all double check me though. I'm pretty sure. I will put enmity in between you and the Isha Khan. Toda Rabbah. And between your seed, see? So you got Hasatan, then he has a seed. He has a people. Your seed and her seed. Whose seed? It's the seed of the seed of the marriage Yahuwah put together, which was Adam and Eve. He shall crush. That word for bruise also can mean crush. He shall crush your head. Y'all see this? And you, that's Hasatan, shall bruise his heel. That's just saying a whole lot, y'all. Saying a whole lot. Just treat me out. All right. So remember, Hatan is about instilling fear and dread into the dragon. That's what marriage does. That's what wedding does. Why? The first marriage, the first wedding, Yahuwah already declared that through this marriage, through this wedding, which is Adam and Eve, their seed is going to crush your head. But see, this is the thing, though. The word for head there is Roshim. That's the Rosh. So the seed of these marriages are going to crush the leadership of your people. They're going to crush the Roshim of the nations. They're going to crush the nations. The people given over to the Hasatan are the Gentiles. They're the nations, in other words. That's why he said between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head. He is the seed. The people of Yahuwah, in other words, shall, and that word for bruise can also mean crush, shall crush your Roshim. They shall crush the leadership of your people. They will crush kings. Why do you think David came through and was like, I'm binding the kings with fetters and the nobles with shackles of iron? And we are the tabernacle of David. We're the seed of the woman. We're the seed of this bloodline who's coming to crush the Roshim of Hasatan. Who's coming to crush the Roshim of the serpent of the marine kingdom. Remember that word Tan also means sea serpent. That's the marine kingdom. Those are the beasts coming out of the sea. When you read in Revelation, you got the beasts that come out of the sea that got different heads and stuff, and they represent the other nations. Y'all read Revelations? The marine kingdom, the sea serpent. Now, I want y'all to really pay attention to this part. Yeah, it was amazing. I don't know how I never saw this. And you, that's Hasatan, shall bruise his Rosh. That's Yaakov, man. Do y'all know the word for the root word for heel? I mean, the root word for Yaakov is heel. The root word for Yaakov is heel, y'all. Just look it up. That's what he was named Yaakov because it was about the heel. And this is now when you look in the Hebrew, his ain't even in the Hebrew. His ain't even in the Hebrew. Y'all pay attention. Y'all see these lights going out. Yahuwah's revealing these things. Really what it's saying is that, do y'all got y'all blue letter Bible? I want y'all to see this. All right. Can somebody screenshot it in the main thing? Because somebody just said they don't have blue letter Bible. Nah, I'm messing with y'all, fam. Yes, sir. So, but this is what I want to show y'all though. Can somebody screenshot that and put it in the chat? Con. Man, Yahuwah so through. Okay. Oh, you know what? That ain't gonna work if you screenshot it. That ain't gonna work. So don't worry about screenshotting it. What I want y'all to do, y'all might have to do this on your own time. It's gonna be hard to explain from here. But if you look up, oh, you know what? I'm gonna explain it to y'all, and then y'all look into it yourself, okay? But if you look at the top, you don't even have to look at the top because it shows the whole words now. But if you're looking at the Genesis 3:15 in blue letter Bible, it show you the word is heal, Akob or Akeb. That's the root word for Yaakov. And then it shows you the letter. You notice how it has a word below and a word above? A word below and a word above. The word above is how it's really stated in that scripture, that verse. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah. Kind of hard to explain, but there's prefixes and suffixes to make it a full sentence in Hebrew. So when you look at bruise, it's soup, right? Do y'all see that right above it? Bruise, soup. H7779, y'all see that? So what is right above soup? It's a whole nother word. It says Teshupnu probably, Teshupanu or something like that. So the tav is a prefix. Y'all get what I'm saying? And then the noon wab is a suffix, which actually is a third person masculine, which does have the connotation of bruising your head. It's a third person masculine. Y'all get what I'm saying? But Yaakov doesn't have no prefixes or suffixes in it. It's just heal. So I'm trying to show y'all. So the reason why I want to show y'all that, I want y'all to see it for yourself, that the his is not in Yaakov, but it was in bruise. So really what it is saying is, he shall bruise your head, talking about Yaakov will bruise the head of Hasatan. But then when he starts talking to Hasatan, he says, and you shall bruise Yaakov. There's no his there. There's none of that. There's no prefix, suffix. It just says Yaakov or Akel, which is the root word for Yaakov. It's the root word for Yaakov. If you take out the the vowel points and stuff. So, why am I bringing all this up? Because the marriages of the Kodashim is put together to crush the nations. Yeah, Hasatan did bruise Yaakov, man. We've been in captivity for I don't know how many years. He did bruise Yaakov. We've been in captivity for hundreds and hundreds of years. Bruise means you through, you're going to come back, though. Now we're coming back to crush his seed. So our kingdom will reign forever. Hallelujah. All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. We'll wrap it up. Try to get it wrapped up. Go to chapter 19. I've never seen that. It was literally a proclamation way back then that Yaakov was going to be the people to crush the seed of Hasatan. Yaakov was going to be the people to crush Hasatan. It was established since the beginning. It was just veiled in there. You see what I'm saying? That's just wild, man. All right, Shemot 19. So we'll just go, for time, we'll just go straight to the point. On the screen, verse 3, it says, and Moshe went up to Eluah, and Yahuwah called to him from the mountain, saying, thus you shall say to the house of Yaakov, and tell the children of Israel. Oh, snap. So y'all remember what I just showed y'all in Genesis 3? It's the seed of the woman, but that seed of the woman is Yaakov. That's why it seemed like out of place that he said it would bruise your heel. You knew it had to have been deeper meaning than that because it didn't make sense. He'll crush your head, but he'll bruise your heel. What? It would make more sense if he would have said he'll crush your head and you'll bruise his head, something like that. But it's like, man, hold on, is this something that you was trying to say something here? Hold on. So it says, and Moshe went up to Elua, and Yahuwah called to him from the mountain, saying, "Thus you shall say to who? And tell the." That sounds like double talk, don't it? So what's the difference here? What's going on? Leadership don't say nothing. All right, the house of Yaakov, that's Bait. Yaakov, that's the women. The house. The children of Israel, that's Bani Israel. That's really the sons of Israel. That's just what they translated as children here, but they really should have translated as sons because the Most High was making a distinction between the men and the women here. But you notice when he mentioned the women, he said the house of Yaakov. Ties that back to Genesis 3, the seed of the woman. Y'all see what I'm saying? Thus you shall say to Bait Yaakov. So the women are the house, you know what I'm saying? Because they had a womb. You know, that's why they call the daughters Bat. That's almost Bait. That's Bet Tav. The only thing is just not the Yod in there. Remember, when the letters are similar, they're related to each other. So Bait always had a feminine aspect to it. The word Bait in Hebrew, like house. That's why they say a house is not a home without a wife there. Have you ever been to like a dude-only house? You walk in, it might have a little smell in there. And you'll step on maybe a pizza crust. Oh, man, hold on. Oh, my bad. There ain't no decorations off in there. You might have a lot of music in there. Big speakers. There'll probably be some big speakers. Maybe it's a PlayStation in there. Do y'all have somewhere I can sit down? Y'all have a couch? Oh, yeah. I'm finna go get some fold-out chairs. Here you go. That's right. I didn't want to get no couch. That costs a lot, you know. So we figured that's dudes. That's dudes. It's the woman who put it in the woman to be. There's always exceptions, but I'm just talking generally speaking. Generally speaking, you would put in a woman to really know how to make a house a home, even with the assembly. Man, I don't got that in me. That'd be the Akio coming in here and, let's do this, we'll do that, man. Let's do that. Man. Bait. Y'all are the house. Y'all are the first house of everybody. The womb. All right, let's keep going. And you have seen what I did to the Mitzrites and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. That's what he done to us. Now, therefore, that's why we saw the two eagles too. All right. Now, therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a what? To me above all people, for all the earth is mine. You're not your own person. You were purchased by Yahusha. You've been redeemed and purchased by him. You're not your own. He put his name on you. So now also where you going on the things that you're doing, his name is on you. You're reflecting him. You moving crazy with his name on you? Man, he will, man. He is not going to let anybody get in the way with the plans that he has for this nation. Let's keep going. Let's go to Exodus 19. Let's go there. All praises to Yahuwah. Praises to Yahuwah. Praises to Yahuwah. Let's start with verse 4. Y'all ready? You have seen what I did to the Mitzrites and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Man, Most High told me this about somebody in the assembly, this Boker in prayer. This person is precious to him. Verse 6, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a Kodesh nation. And these are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. So Moshe's job was to tell the people. So Moshe came and called for the elders, the Zaken of the people, and laid before them all these words which Yahuwah commanded him. Then all the people answered together and said, all that Yahuwah has spoken, we will do. Verse 8, then all the people answered together and said, all that Yahuwah has spoken, we will do. So Moshe brought back the words of the people to Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, behold, I come to you in what? He said, I come to you in the thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. So y'all see that that Yahuwah did all kind of stuff to try to make sure that the Mishpachah would be obedient to him through Musha. He confirmed himself. Yahuwah confirmed Musha to them multiple times on purpose, so it wouldn't be no excuse to be in no kind of disobedience or rebellion. And so, nevertheless, people still rebel. But that makes you even more responsible when you rebel. Let's go to Daniel 7:13. Let me know when y'all there. It says, I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like who? Coming with the clouds of heaven. So he's coming in the thick clouds even here in Daniel 7. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Look what it says right after that, verse 14. Then to him was given dominion and glory, kavod. Y'all see this? And a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, the one which shall not be bruised, shall not be destroyed. House of Time can't touch it no more. So it's interesting that coming in the cloud seems to be connected with this like rulership over the nations, with like this dominion, like a new level of dominion. Go to Matthew 24. Oh, I forgot I had a slide for it. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, behold, I come to you in the thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. So Moshe told the words of the people to Yahuwah. Matthew 24, verse 30. Y'all ready? Verse 30. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, And then all the tribes of the earth will mourn. And they will see the Son of Man coming on the of heaven with what? That's similar to what Daniel said. That's that kavod. It's something about when it talks about Yahuwah coming in the thick cloud or coming in the clouds, it's about having dominion over the nations. Do y'all remember that it wasn't until after it wasn't until after Yahuwah had destroyed Mitzrayim and got the children of Israel out of Egypt, then he was riding on the cloud, wasn't he? He was riding on a thick cloud. It was a cloud by day and fire by night. So it's something about him coming on a cloud that's associated with him destroying the nations. Go to 1 Thessalonians 4. We're going to verse 17, Mishpaka. First Thessalonians 4:17. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them to meet Yahuwah in the air. Yeah, maybe Adon or Yahuwah. And thus we shall always be with Yahuwah. And so, even here, now it's saying that the people will actually be caught up in the clouds with them. It's interesting when you look at that because, again, that's associated with having dominion over the earth. And that's the Kodashim. Let's go to Revelation 1. Revelation 1, verse 7. Y'all ready? It says, behold, he is coming with, and every eye will see him, even they who pierced him. And all the tribes of the earth will mourn because of him. Even so. Amen. It's about having rulership over the earth. It's about having dominion over the earth. Go back to Shem.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.